Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to North East Derbyshire District Council. This is our question and answer session on Zoom. You'll see that I'm using British Sign Language for the benefit of the deaf community living in North East Derbyshire. We have a number of people on the call. Well, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Robin Ash and I work for the British Deaf Association. And we also have a sign language interpreter here called Carleen. But we have 3 extra people and they're going to introduce themselves. They'll give you their name, their job role and the organisation or company that they work for. So Amar, can we start with you?
Yes, thank you. So my name's Amar Bashir. I work for North East Derbyshire District Council and I look after equality and performance. So part of my role includes delivering training, engaging with the different communities of North East Derbyshire and writing policies and procedures to assist the organisation. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna.
Hello there. So I'm Donna Cowley, a customer services team leader. I work within the team that delivers all the council's frontline service requests at the first point of contact wherever possible. This is across all access channels, whether it's face-to-face, email, text, telephone. 94% of our inquiries that come into the customer services are dealt with by our team at the first point of contact. One of my duties is to quality monitor the team to ensure we continue to deliver quality services to all our residents.
Thank you. Passing over to Claire.
Hi, I'm Claire Vale. I'm Managing Director of Sign Solutions and we provide the Interpreters Live service for North East Derbyshire Council, which is a video relay service, which we'll come on to what that is later. We are a national organisation, so we provide not just video interpreting, but face-to-face interpretation, translations, and deaf awareness training, and also employment support across the UK. And we're available 24/7.
Thank you everyone for joining the Q&A session today. We have a list of questions for you. And first of all, I would like to ask Donna, for the benefit of the deaf community, what does customer service actually mean?
Customer service to myself and our team is about going the extra mile, really. Exceeding the customer's expectations, treating somebody as you'd like to be treated yourself, being as informative as you can be, respectful, being non-judgmental, and if we here at North East don't have the answer, then we can signpost that resident to someone or the service that they need.
Thank you for the explanation. So that's a bit clearer now. We know what customer service is. I was just wondering that if a deaf person wants to make contact with North East Derbyshire District Council through VRS, I mean, how do they do that?
VRS, they can do that on a link on our website. This connects them to a video interpreter. And then they make the onward telephone call through to us here in the customer service centre.
Okay, that's a new service. That's really interesting. I was wondering that, I mean, I'm not sure that deaf people really understand what VRS means. So I don't know whether, Claire, could you give us a bit more of an explanation about what that actually means?
Yeah, of course. So obviously any organisation that has a phone number really should be accessible to the deaf community and enable them to communicate with that organisation in British Sign Language, their first or preferred language. So that's what VRS does, and Donna explained it really well. basically they can have a video call with an on-demand interpreter who is NRCPD registered, qualified interpreter. They are based all around the UK, and they can initiate that call via the website, choosing to click on a link and come through to the interpreter, or they can download an app if they're using an Apple device, and they come through to the interpreter, who then makes the onward telephony call to customer services team. And once that call is connected to the council, if customer services were signposting it to another department within the council, they can just transfer the call in the same way as any other telephone call that comes in.
Okay. I think this is quite new to the North East Derbyshire deaf community. And I was wondering that deaf people quite often ask me about VRS and whether they can have their local interpreter. And they also ask about qualifications and registration. So could you clarify sort of how that works?
Yeah, for me to answer, yeah. So with a video relay service, it's an on-demand service. So we have interpreters that are based regionally across the UK. So they could end up coming through to any of those regional interpreters. However, if they were coming in for an appointment, or they wanted to specifically request a certain interpreter that they are familiar with for a call, we can pre-book that interpreter that they request to make that call for them, or be online on the iPad for when they come in for the meeting. But that would have to be pre-booked to make sure that that interpreter is available. And that can be within the application that the council have access to, or if the council want to use a different video solution, we can bring the interpreter into any video platform.
It's good for the deaf community to know that they have some choice still, because deaf people quite often like to know who they're going to be working with and who they have to interpret for them. So that's useful information to know. The other thing that the deaf community are often asking me is, well, why do I need to contact the council? What would I want to make a call to the council via an interpreter for? So I wondered if I could ask the council, or maybe Donna, you could give some examples of why people may need to make contact with the council in the first place.
Okay, yeah. Well, basically, we'll help with anything we can, really. Obviously, we do have our, purposes while we're here. So for us here, the district council, we deal with things like benefits, council tax, business rates, environmental health issues, concessionary travel passes, homeless, housing advice, antisocial behaviour. But then we also get calls from residents, requiring help elsewhere. We sometimes get calls about restaurants and opening times and things. Even though, it's not under the council, we'll always try and help where we can. We'll find that information for that resident.
That's useful to know too. I mean, deaf people have been saying, why would I want to contact the council? So you've given us quite a good list there.
There's all Derbyshire County Council. They deal with other issues. A few examples of those would be things like highways, so potholes, access, things like street lighting, education, adult social care, etc. So there is a difference, but if they come through to us, we deal with it all the time, and we will signpost them through.
Thank you for adding that bit of information, because that clarifies some important issues for some people too. Now, the deaf community we'll be telling them that they can use VRS to make contact. But how do deaf people find the link? If we say to them, you can use it, they need to know specific information about how or where to find it. Either of you could answer that. I don't know who feels they want to answer that one.
It should be, if you go North East Derbyshire District Council, you go onto our website there, and it should be there right at the bottom of the screen, and it will say contact us.
And there's also a British Sign Language button as well at the bottom of the screen. And I think when we do share some of the videos around how to find the website and how to contact, that will be helpful. Also, COVID has prevented a lot of the normal awareness events that the council or ourselves would do. So there's some of those going to be planned to be able to create a little bit more awareness, and also for people to have a go and then understand the technology a little bit. It's so easy to use, so simple, just literally a click, and you can come through to an interpreter. And the other way you can find the council is via our website. So we have a directory of all the organisations in the UK you can contact, and they're in sectors. So all the councils are together, all the NHS organisations are together. So you can click on that button and go straight to North East Derbyshire's page.
Oh, that's useful to know as well. I didn't realise that. Amar, did you want to say?
Yes, again, just to repeat what Donna and Claire said, that it is available on the front page and through the Sign Solutions website. And we should be able to have a link at the bottom of this video as well with the description. So if you want to save that in your favorites on your Internet Explorer or whichever browser you use, then it'll just make the process a little bit quicker for you.
Brilliant. Great explanation for the deaf community on how to actually get the interpreter to pop up on the screen. Now, lots of deaf people often ask me that about their circumstances because they don't have a mobile phone or they don't have the technology. So how do those deaf people make contact with the council to get services? Can anybody help with that question?
Yeah, I mean, we've got email. They can use email. Obviously, they need access to a computer. If they don't have that, there are libraries where they can access that service. We do have a text facility as well. So you should be able to text, like, from, even if it's not a smartphone. Obviously, there's the VRS, and then we you know, face to face, if they feel, you know, confident in coming down to see us. You know, we are very approachable down here, and we'll do our best to help where we can.
And that's good information for us to pass to the deaf community, because if they're lacking in confidence in one area, whether it's technology or face-to-face, they've got other options.
Yeah.
And it's also really important that deaf people have some hints and tips about, you know, what to say when they call, rather than just to click on that link and not be clear about what information they need. So is there anything they need to know specifically about the technology, about the quality of camera or the background, or is there anything that would be really useful for them to know in terms of the technology?
Will I answer that? So when they land on the website and they click on the link to call without downloading the app, they'll be immediately taken to a page where they can test their camera. So it will show them what they look like. They can check that their hands are in view, because obviously that's how we're going to be communicating, and they can check that their camera's working before they actually press the call now button. When they do press the call now button and they come through to an interpreter, the interpreter will also check that they understand each other, that they can see each other before they make the connection via audio and phone onto the council. And it's the same from the app perspective as well. They will see a screen first. A bit like when you join a Zoom call or a Teams call, you can check all your settings before you actually make a call. And then when they do come through to us, if they ask for a department that isn't in the directory, or they're not going through to main switchboard, something like that, they can give us the phone number and we can type that in. So we should be able to connect them really swiftly to the council, but they will always check those, that they can see each other and that they've got a camera and it's working before they make the call.
Useful tips, but very important tips. Thank you for that. I have one more question. Now, councils and companies are using VRS already, and I'm curious to know about feedback from the deaf community. I mean, I'm sure that you want to know how the deaf community feel when they've used the service, so they can give you an idea of what their experience was like, because I think feedback is really important. So how would they give that feedback?
So if someone's used our service, we have on our contact us page, they can send us a BSL video, they can call us via video to give feedback, they can text, live chat, email, so those are the options. And also we'll be releasing our app soon, which is still powered by the same system, but it will give them a feedback button option on there as well. We also have a feedback page where they can select a slider scale as to their score out of 10, and they can add as much or as little feedback as they wish. And also every call that we have, we know which interpreters are on shift at which time and the calls they've taken, so we can always investigate a call if there was an issue raised.
Can I add to that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to say we do have a comments, compliments and complaints system where residents can access on our website. So they can give us feedback on there, also by email or text. And we also send out like satisfaction surveys as well. And it, we are interested in how they find the service so that, we can improve it. So it's really useful to have that.
Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. This has been really useful information for the deaf community, because often deaf people say, oh, why bother? People don't, people not interested in our feedback, but you genuinely are. And I think it's really important that they know that that's the only way that services can be improved. If people tell you how they feel about the system. So we'll be encouraging the communities of the North East Derbyshire to do that. And thank you for being here. Thank you for answering my questions. It's really appreciated. And if deaf people have any more questions, perhaps they could ring the council via VRS and ask questions. I'm sure that customer service will be happy to hear from them.
Yes.
And if they need any more information about the system, how it works, Amar,
and
I don't know if there's anything that you feel you need to add to anything that I've said.
Not really. Robin's covered it very, very well, and I think the rest of the the attendees have as well. We'll be providing all the information attached to the description of this video as well. So in terms of the landing page, in terms of how to give feedback, and we as a council, we do believe in continuous improvement as well. So it is a cycle where we see an improvement, we make the improvement, and then we get feedback to make sure that it is, you know, helping the communities as well. So we're always open, and I think we've done a lot of work already with Robin with the BSL charter. This is one of the actions from that charter as well. I think remember we had a launch with the charter as well, and this is the next stage. So we are working towards the action plan, and we are making progress with the community, and hopefully we'll be able to attend forums once COVID is over and everything is hopefully back to normal.
And I would just add, obviously the plan is to set up some more awareness events and deaf community events, and also to share videos on how to access the service. So make sure you follow our social media and also the council so that you can keep up to date with those announcements.
Brilliant. Thank you, Amar, for facilitating the meeting. Thank you to North East Derbyshire Council. Thank you for trying to improve access for the deaf community and providing the VRS as a service through the council, because that gives deaf people equality and access. So thank you, Donna from customer service. Thank you, Claire. Thank you everybody for answering the questions, and hopefully we will make progress with this. And you know, it's been really useful to hear from Claire at Sign Solutions about how this system works. And finally, thank you to the interpreter as well for signing and voicing throughout. So we will have more information to update the deaf community in the future. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.